I'm the type of person that ignores some chores for as long as physically possible, watching it get filthier and filthier and filthier until I cannot take it anymore. Often, these chores that I ignore only take a few minutes to actually do, if that. Yes, I really am that lazy. But today, I got my ass in gear to finally tackle some deep cleaning duties. My oven. Let's not talk about it. I'm pretty sure cleaning this today has taken literal years off my life, and it looks practically the exact same. One of these days, I'll figure out how to get it sparkling again. I also deep clean my entire living room, making sure not to ignore the tasks I usually do, like spot cleaning and hoovering the sofa. If you're anything like me and find yourself avoiding certain cleaning jobs, let this be your sign to get it done. I really hope you enjoy this video today. Let's get started. Wow, the absolute state of my oven. My excuse is my mum never cleaned her oven. Therefore, that means I never clean my oven. Today, my mission is to get it sparkling again. I want to be able to see through this door. First, I'm going to start with the metal bits. I'm going to take them all out. I'm going to put them in my bath with hot water and bicarbonate of soda. I saw someone do this online and it seemed to work really well, so that's what I'm going to do too. I have literally no idea how much I'm meant to use, so I just took some handfuls and sprinkled it on top. So it's safe to say that I never clean my oven. And it's also important that I say that I have no idea how to clean my oven. I really want to get my oven to the point where I can see through this glass again, so we have a long way to go because you can't see through it at all. So I'm just gonna... Little did I know this would be a massive mistake. All over. I'm gonna just... So for those of you that don't know, perhaps you live under a rock, Fairy Liquid is amazing at cutting through grease, which is why I used it all over my oven. But what I failed to remember is that Fairy Liquid plus water equals a shit ton of bubbles. So while this did clean my oven, it didn't take off the grime, and it was a massive mistake. It felt like it took a century to get those bubbles out, which would be fine if the oven was sparkling clean at the end. But no, all the burnt on grime remained. But anyway, I ended up covering this up with cling film and letting it sit for an hour and a half or so, in which time I then decided would be the perfect opportunity to get some living room chores done. Time for a speed clean. The hardest part is always getting started. Pick up a piece of clutter, put it away, and repeat. We always seem to let our living room become a dumping ground. You know, you come home from work and it's so much easier to just dump your stuff down. To be honest, after I do a cleanup like this, I'm always so much better about putting things away straight away. Quick side note, this was peak laziness. Instead of putting it away, which literally took 2 seconds, we made life difficult for ourselves and reached into the packaging. I mean, really? Why am I like this? Anyway, where were we? Yes, my consistency. But that always seems to fizzle out, and I always end up going back to my same old way of being a messy bitch. But hey, if I wasn't a messy bitch, I wouldn't be bringing you this video. My boyfriend's a mechanic, so he always puts random little metal bits and screws and spark plugs all over the place, which I then have to carefully put into a bag so that he doesn't disown me for losing them. Been there, done that, got the medal. So with any cleanup in my house, I always start with a declutter and a spray down of all the surfaces. Now guys, that plus hoovering is the bare minimum. Okay, we are going above and beyond today. First up is the cat flap. It needed a quick spray down and a wipe clean, while also making sure to get all the areas surrounding it and all the hairs stuck in the door. Plus, we gotta go to the other side, baby. And what a difference. Next up, I went to go refill my Airwick air freshener. And by the way, this crisp linen and lilac flavour is so refreshing. I noticed that the top was completely discoloured. This is something I've been ignoring for, I want to say, over a year, not gonna lie. So out comes the pink stuff. A little scrub-a-dub-dub, and it's almost back to new, but not quite. Now on to more generic duties. A house clean is not complete without hoovering. Honestly, I'm considering getting one of those robots to hoover for me, because if any of you have black cats, or just cats in general, molting season is upon us. And boy, are they hairy. I can't quite believe I've made it this far into adulthood without discovering this attachment to my hoover sooner. I really do not know where it's been hiding, but my boyfriend of all people showed me it. Not to be dramatic or anything, but I think it might have changed my life. I've been using the thin tube attachment to hoover my stairs, my sofa, and it is rubbish. This other attachment is like a wizard. It's clearly built for these sort of surfaces, and because of this, I found some motivation to actually hoover my sofa for once. And yes, I know it's grim. And this is where all my hair ties have been hiding. Fantastic. After removing all the bits and bobs that I found wedged in my sofa, I got to hoovering. Now this isn't quite as bad as hoovering a car, but it's definitely not as satisfying as I wished it would be. All the little hairs seem to stick to the edges, so I definitely need to find a way to get those off. But today was not the day for that. Now that is looking so much better, it's time to do the other side. I can never believe how long it takes me in between hoovers. I think it's because it's out of sight, out of mind, that I just don't really care for it. Just like the oven. If it was in my face, like the hob or the floor, I'd be doing it every week. That's my excuse anyway. As you can see, this attachment is doing all the work for me. Oh yes, and that's satisfying. Now let's speed this up a little bit. I got to hoover in the rest of my sofa, making sure to get under the cushions as well, and then rearranged my scatter sofa. If any of you guys are considering getting a normal sofa versus a scatter cushion sofa, I have to say I do regret getting the scatter sofa. At first it seemed like a really good idea. Actually, it's just a pain in the arse because you always end up moving the cushions and they never quite look right, and it also means I can't really jazz up the sofa with any cushions because it's literally made of cushions. But that's just my opinion. I then moved on to a bit more hoovering. You know I'm doing things properly when I actually move the table. And upon moving the table, I then discovered that my skirting boards are absolutely rank. So I tried to clean them off and then soon discovered that somehow it's caked on there. The only way forward is to paint them. Literally, how has it even happened? I don't even touch these skirting boards. I have no idea how this has happened. That's a job for another day. And then because I was in this corner, I then looked up to the door and I noticed that that was covered in dirt. Tell me how a living room door ends up really dirty. I don't even have kids, like, what am I doing running around with grotty fingers in my sleep? Somebody tell me. Either way, I got it clean, and then it was time to put my living room back to normal. Put the chairs away, lit a candle, of course. A clean is not complete without lighting a candle. I mean, look at the before and after. Absolutely gorgeous, darling. Next, I moved swiftly on to my hallway. This wasn't that bad. I just needed to clear up some clutter and give it a good hoover, paying close attention to where my cats eat, because my cats seem to drag their food onto the floor before they ate it. Anyone without cats will probably gag, but yeah, little fish flakes on my carpet. Big fat no from me. And just like that, we're done, baby. It's feeling fresh as a daisy in here. Now back to the dreaded oven. Okay, we're back. I put some cling film on this so that it wouldn't dry out and hopefully would let it soak properly. I can confirm it's not dried out, so that's good. I'm just gonna... It's not coming off. I feel like I need a better scraper. Like a... So, yes, this is where I discovered that all that effort has in fact not worked. Yes, it's cleaning some of the grime off my oven, I'm not denying that. It's definitely better. However, it's not getting off all of the grime that is burnt on there, which was on there the last time I cleaned my oven. I want it to look new again, and I know it's possible, I just need the right tools. So what I'm going to try next time is using a wire wool brush, or like one of them wire wool ball things, because I think it needs to be something a bit more scratchy in order to get it off. For now, I am glad that I cleaned my oven. I can't wait for the day that it looks brand new again. If anyone has any tips, please let me know in the comments. Because as you can see, it's far from being clear. Dude. It's definitely going to look better. But that's not coming clean. I was disheartened, but I had to move on and do the shelves. I actually think this worked really well. I just needed something more scratchy to get all the grime off. After what felt like 10,000 years of scrubbing later, we're finally done. Out they come to drip dry, and man, look at the before and after. I hope this video can be some inspiration for you guys. Maybe you've got some things on your to-do list that you've been putting off for ages. Maybe this is the sign that it's time to get those done. Trust me, they never take as long as you think. Unless maybe it's an oven.